Hi guys, Jace here. It's the third week of lockdown. I've become a close contact, so I've got yet another 14 days, 2 weeks in isolation. And that means I can't even leave the house. So what I'm gonna do is do a quick video here on what I learned from going from an analog bike to an e-bike. I haven't totally ditched the analog bike, well, and I probably won't for a few years yet. But this is what I learned anyway. First of all, there are a lot of e-bikes out there. If you go down to your local trails now, you will probably see that at least a quarter of all bikes are e-bikes. And if you ask any local bike shop, they will tell you that e-bike sales are outstripping the analog sales by a vast margin, and that goes for all over the world. And that's enabled e-bikers or bikers to get on the bike at an older age. There are a lot of e-bikes out there, so it'll depend on who you're riding with, how far you're riding. Do you want a heavy bike? Do you want a light bike? Myself, I decided on the Turbo Levo Super Light because I'm sharing that with my partner and she wanted a light bike, and also I like the feeling of just a normal mountain bike. You'll be learning a whole new language. You'll have to learn about torque and how much torque your bike has, kilowatts, battery capacity, Yamaha, Bosch motors, Shimano motors, what's best for you. Also peak power, pedal assist, all of the apps that you can tune it to. So it's an interesting learning curve, but hey, it's another thing to spend your money on, that's for sure. And it's another reason to look and research on YouTube. It's not cheating. You can work just as hard on an analog bike as you can on an e-bike. You just go further or it will take you less time. I've had a look at some of my Strava rides and looked at how hard I was working. I was working just as hard on my e-bike as I do on my analog bike. You can also ask Tomo, the Maori that bikes, and I'll put a link to the video up there, how hard he found it when he tried racing the Winter Forest Festival. No matter how fit you are, you can still benefit from an e-bike. You can still train on an e-bike. You can do recovery ride on an e-bike. You can train by speeding up and then going fast down hills and practice and session at downhills. You'll be doing twice as much, 3 times as much as you would on an analog bike. And that's why enduro pros have an e-bike and use it for training. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. With the Specialized Levo, you can set the heart rate to cap at 160 or whatever you want to set it. You can set the power to cap at 150, so you're working at 150 watts. And then what will happen is the motor will give you an assist up to that level, or once you hit that level, the motor will switch off so you can work in that zone you want to work in. So if I set, for example, my heart rate at 145 for me and my watts are 175, I will keep working to that, and the motor will assist more after that just to keep you in that range. So it will keep me in zone 2, and that's pretty invaluable, and it is the best and most fun recovery ride or zone 2 ride you will have. The e-bike saves you money, or can save you money. Yes, it can save you money. So if you're at a bike park and you're generally paying for uplifts, no more uplifts with an e-bike, you can just carry on going, and it'll have the secondary benefit of saving you time. You don't have to wait for that shuttle at all. So you'll be waving at your friends while they're sat down getting cold. You will cycle up, and then you either wait for them or you'll go back down. Hopefully you've got a crew of e-mountain bikers that will do it together. Of course, it can cost you more, and what I mean is you will wear down the drivetrain a lot quicker because of the torque going through the motor. You'll wear your tires out because of the weight going down into them. So it's not going to be cheap, and they tend to wear out at least twice as quick. So you'll end up buying a lot more spare parts. Strava doesn't record your mileage. So if you're on your bike and you set it as an e-bike ride, or it automatically records as an e-bike ride, it won't add to your weekly or total kilometers or mileage. So what you will have to do if you want to add them is just put it as a private ride or put it as an analog ride, change it to an analog ride, but don't upset everyone by taking all the KOMs. Just put it as a private ride and then it will add to your kilometers. Range anxiety is a thing. It's not far from every mountain biker's lips. Either an e-biker or analog biker, that's the first or one of the first things they will ask you. How far can you go on a battery? Now, I did a video on my Turbo Levo SL to see how far it went on one battery. So have a click up there if you want to look at it. Cushco was made for mountain bikes. Strictly speaking, it wasn't, but if you stick a cushco on the front and back, and with the weight of the e-bike being more, you're more likely to get pinch flats. With cushcos, that will lessen the chance of that. Also, you can reduce the PSI, so it's more comfortable and act a bit more like suspension. You'll get more grip around those corners. Not that you need it with the weight being lower and the weight being more on an e-bike, but you'll find they are perfect and will help you flat less. Last but not least then, an e-bike is fun going up and down. You won't find too many e-bikers without a smile far from the face, even when they're going uphill. And those technical sections are awesome for an e-bike. You will feel like the fittest mountain biker alive. Nino Schurter, here we come. Also, it's still fun going downhill. My bike is actually, or the e-bike is actually faster than my enduro bike. Maybe it's because of the weight, maybe because of the geometry, but I find it quicker and more comfortable. Now, all you e-bikers out there, if you've got any more observations, how you found it, what you found going from an analog bike to an e-bike, please let us know, give us some tips. Put it in the comments below. Now, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Can't wait to see you out there on the trails in a few weeks' time.